Welcome back to Hoochos. Today on Hoochos, we're going to be building this. This is a seedling and clone propagation area made from exclusively hardware store materials. The shelving, the lighting, everything here is available in your local hardware store, except for, of course, the grow tent. So in this video, I'll be showing you how to select lights from your hardware store, how to waterproof cheap shelving. I'll also be time-lapsing the seedlings to show you that the lights work. And at the end, I'll summarize how the system performs. There'll be timestamps in the description, so skip ahead to whichever part you would like to see. Okay, so for this build, I'm going to be using pretty much exclusively components you can find in your local hardware store. And this means that anyone that's close to a hardware store can find the components they need to emulate this build and the lighting components as well. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to test some hardware store lights. And once we've found the appropriate light with the appropriate amount of photosynthetically active radiation or light that the plants can use, we can then look at the enclosure. Now these are just cheap LED lights that I sourced from Bunnings. I think these LEDVANCE lights were about 60 bucks each, and these LEDVANCE are $28 each from Bunnings. You can get cheaper, but I wanted to go with the style that is plug and play rather than the style that you have to hardwire in, because I don't really want to encourage people to do electrician's work at home without the proper qualifications, and it would add too much to the cost to get an electrician in. If you know an electrician or are an electrician, obviously you can do this cheaper. Another benefit to these lights is they come with daisy chain cords as well. Rather than having like 3 or 4 of these lights plugged in per run, we can have one light plugged in daisy chained to the rest. We're going to test out this style of light as well as our larger fixture. I'll provide links in the description and a description of these lights. Basically what you're looking for if you're in America or another country is a 4000K white light. So here are the specifications of this light. The higher the wattage, the more light output it will have. So the highest wattage you can get, these are 13 watt. There was a 20 watt available, but as I said, it wasn't plug and play, and I don't really want to encourage that for people that have little experience with electricity. These ones are probably more ideal. This is a multi-spectrum light. So you can see here that we've got 3000, 4000 and 65K light. So this is covering a broader range, but that 4000K is probably going to be ideal in most situations. So let's test what the power output on these is, and then we can figure out how many lights we'll need over the area above where we're going to be planting. Now, obviously the higher wattage, the higher output. So go for the highest watt light you can find. These are 13 watts, so I'm gonna have to use more of them, which will be more expensive. If you can find a cheap, high wattage light, go for that. Generally, they will output more light. Efficacy for growing plants isn't what these are designed for, so it probably will be less efficient, but you'll get your dollar's worth back with the higher output. So let's put them under a power sensor and see how they test. The design of this system is going to have the lights placed very closely to the plants. So I won't be hanging them from the roof. I'll just be keeping them above the power sensor with some appropriately heighted propagation domes. Similar to our other racking lights, we're going to have them extremely close to the plants, probably closer than this light because this is a 60 watt fixture and it's made specifically for growing. So I'm probably going to have them about this height, just under a foot. I'm just going to test one to start with. So that is quite low. We are looking at about 33. So to increase that, so we're at 50. How close do I need to get? 170 if I get really close. 3. See if I'm getting closer. So I've got 3 of these lights above the power sensor, about 6 inches. And we are at 96. So these just aren't gonna cut it, unfortunately. So these are the LEDVANCE 13 watt fixtures from Bunnings. This is my yardstick. I'm growing these lettuce at about 230 par there. So next I'm going to try this style of light. So this is just a panel light, and the diodes would be spread out across a PCB on the back of the panel. And it's another plug and play. So we're just going to set that up. 140, 150. Actually, that's not too bad. I'm actually pretty happy with this. So you can see, if we get it right up close, we can get up to about 300 par. If we have this hanging almost directly above, I think this light will do absolutely fine. And this is just a 30-watt fixture. It was $60. I think we can make these ones work. So this is at 6 inches, 154. If I move it closer, about 3 inches, 250. So this is gonna work very well. And it comes in one piece. Look at that. If you wanted, you could take this diffuser off, but I think I'm gonna leave it on and think we can get some good growth out of this light. Now, obviously, grow tents aren't found in hardware stores, but this grow tent was sent out to me by Spider Farmer, and I figured I'd just use it in this build. You can find greenhouses in hardware stores, so if you're looking for something to keep the grow environment steady, it doesn't particularly need to be light proof, but the reflective walls do help with the efficiency of the system in the sense that they bounce light back at the plants and make it more available. And the form factor is perfect. So for the structure of the system, I'm just going with a cheap shelving unit from Bunnings. You can get these from any hardware store, and I'll just be putting it together, and we'll be making some amendments so that the MDF in this is waterproof. Okay, so because I didn't want to spend a fortune on a shelving unit, and I didn't particularly want to have to make you cut ply to fit this shelving unit, we're actually going to treat the existing shelves so that we can waterproof them. And the way that we're going to do that is we're going to cover them in a vinyl plastic, just so that if they do get wet, because you'll be taking plants in and out of the system, they won't expand, because this stuff is like a sponge once it gets wet. And all we're going to use is some self-adhesive vinyl to do that. This is the same stuff that your parents probably covered your exercise books in at school. And full credit to Seb from Seb Makes Stuff for this idea. He's wrapped all of his cheap Bunnings shelves in the same stuff. So I'm pretty happy with that. Look at that. Maybe I should start my own craft channel. Now leave a comment below if this has given you some ideas of revamping cheap shelving, because it's actually a really good idea. And we don't want to use all of it, so we can just cut it off at the end, wrap around the edges. And there we go. So I'm going to do this for all of the shelves. Like I bought one. How good. Okay, so the first thing I want to do is I actually want to attach the lights to the system. So I'm going to set up the lights by attaching them to our shelf bases. So I'm just going to take them off, and we're going to figure out a way of attaching our hardware store lights. Whether this is annoying or not, I've yet to decide, but these lights actually slot in to our shelving unit perfectly. Like there is no play in that at all. It just sort of works. Like, that's incredible. So obviously this is going to be different for every light fixture, but these are exactly made to fit into a office roof enclosure. I'm wondering if I can use this to my advantage. I'm just thinking. Okay, so I think I've come up with a way of using the size of that shelving unit to my advantage, and that is by not attaching these to the bottom of the shelves like I was originally going to do. I'm actually going to screw into the side and use the screws to hold these panel lights above the plants. If I screw in from the side at the bottom of these panels, I can just slot the light in. I will have to lose this center support, but the support won't really be supporting much because there won't be that much plant weight on each shelf. Let's give that a go. So you can see the 2 screws protruding here and there's another over the other side. And that means if I undo this section, I can drop it in with the light, like that. Oh, that light is now part of the unit. How good. You can see the screws holding the light up. So that's a solid piece, part of the unit. Now, I should just be able to drop my shelf in. That light is now part of the shelf. And you can see here where I've just taken a nick out of that shelf to get that cord through. And what I've actually noticed is on these drivers, there's actually a 3000, 4000, 65,000K switch, and you can toggle it from 30 watts to 36 watts. So we'll be able to change the color temperature if we like, if we're unhappy with the grow, and we'll also be able to change the wattage, which is incredible. It's a lot of control for just a cheap hardware light. And now I'm going to do that for the rest of the shelves. Okay, so that is our lighting done. Underneath we have the lights, and on top we have the shelves. And that is just lovely. It fits within the actual frame, which is amazing. So this is the shelf I use. It's 1200 width. So the 1200 is what worked with these lights, which are obviously also 1200. So these are the dimensions of the light. We've got 1195 by 295. 1195. So that fit perfectly because it's just short of that 1200. So if you can find a light with the same dimensions, which should be fairly easy because most office lights are 1200, and if you can find the shelving with the right dimensions, you should be able to emulate this build. It's just... Okay, so I'm just going to chuck it back in and we can have a look. Whoop. One, and here we go. Oh, how good is that? Okay, and you can see here the color temperature. So that's 4000. I'll turn it all to 4000. That's 65. And there we go. So that's all 4000. And we can change that up and down. You can see the difference in the color. That's pretty cool. Okay, let me just grab a par sensor. So now that I've thought about this, this probably would have been a good idea rather than black to do white, but it's done now. So if we have a look, we're getting about where the plants will be for like seedlings will be about 125, getting up to about 200 towards the top. So this will be when they get a bit larger. And let's have a look. This is a really good propagation par. I could honestly stop this video right now and just do a video on how to make a really awesome display shelf because this just works. Like it is almost as if it was made to be put together like this. So if you want a pretty cool display shelf, this isn't that bad at all. But we're not here for that, we're here for hydroponics. So a bit over a week ago, I prepared a few propagators worth of cocoa pellets in the same way that I showed you how to prepare the Jiffy Peat pellets in this video. And I added them into our propagation area. Now, I added them in with some more advanced seedlings, some cos seedlings that you are looking at right now within the time lapse. The reason that I added in the more advanced seedlings was so that we could get an idea of how the seedlings respond to the lights in a more advanced stage, which is what I was actually worried about because I didn't know whether the propagation par would be enough to see you through the next couple of weeks, just in case you wanted to leave your seedlings a little bit longer. But as you can see here, our lights have performed fantastically, even to this advanced stage of seedlings. And our vinyl matting is doing the job that we want, because this propagation dome is sweating and it's actually running down the side of the propagation dome and onto our what would be MDF, and this is waterproofing it for us. Now, as you can see, the heat from the lights is keeping this propagation area a really nice temperature, purely because it is enclosed and the heat isn't escaping. So we can take a temperature reading, and if we have a look, we've got a temperature of 25 degrees Celsius or 78 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is perfect propagation temperatures. So these lights are heating the environment as well as providing the light. Now, obviously, if you wanted the environment to be cooler, you could just leave this tent open, but I've had it closed because it's actually been really cold the last few weeks here. Our spring has been very lackluster, and I wanted some heat to germinate these seeds. So if we have a look here, I've actually got some red pak choi, which I've been germinating, and it has germinated really nicely. I have actually used up a few of them for another video which I'm doing at the moment, which is this one. This is Kratky versus deep water culture. So get excited for that video. Down here I've got various tomatoes and some capsicums, and as you can see, I've got a really nice germination rate on the tomatoes, but not on the capsicums for some reason, so I might have to check those seeds. I'm cracking these domes, and down here I've got some striped antho tomatoes on the right and some jalapeno chilies on the left, and they seem to be popping rather nicely as well. And there's no sign of light deficiencies in any of these seedlings. These cos are about ready to be put out into my main system. As you can see, they are just about perfect. And you may have noticed that I've only utilized 3 of the shelves. I actually have a 4th shelf down here. It has a larger cavity. So there are 2 options that you could go with here. You could raise up this base shelving unit to the same depth as these ones, or you can do what I'm going to do. And I think I'm going to be building a miniature NFT down here, because I want to see how far I can push these lights. I want to see if I can get a full grow out of a very low light vegetable. So we'll be looking at greens here, maybe a butter leaf lettuce. We'll have a look at that in the future, because I've been very impressed with these panel lights, and I'd love to see what we can achieve with them. So this is one of those builds that just went together flawlessly. I've been really impressed with how the lights are performing. They are definitely propagation lights, but I am keen to test their ability to go that step further into a full cycle of plant growth. This is applicable across all gardening techniques. So if you have a friend that's into gardening and they have trouble with their propagation, anyone can do this with any gardening style. So not just hydroponics, organic soil gardening, whatever it is you're into, whatever it is your friends are into, they can achieve this at home wherever they are in the world, because you can get all of the components from a hardware store. So share this video with your green thumbs, and if you have any friends that you think will find any of the videos on this channel interesting, please help the channel by sharing those videos as well. Happy hydroponicking, happy propagating, and I'll see you next time on Hoochos.